pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Ready to get us started, the Aussie punter and kickoff man, Michael Dixon. And we are underway here on EA Sports. Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Wentz going to throw. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll fake the give to Taylor. Now Wentz. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Darrell Taylor in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. The return is Callaway. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 45. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing is Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
And Gerald Everett makes a good catch there for a 1st down, and he was signed away from the Seattle Seahawks division rivals, the Rams, after 4 years in L.A. backing up Tyler Higbee. He's excited about his opportunity in the Pacific Northwest. Last year, 41 catches, a career high.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. It's a big play there for Seattle.
This defense is definitely reeling a little bit now. Back-to-back big plays given up. And you know that's all defenses talk about. How do you limit that? Instead, they got hit by a 1-2 punch those last couple of plays, and now they've got their backs to the goal line.
They need about the length of the football here on 1st and goal. Carson will score. Touchdown, Seattle. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
On 2nd and a couple, Wentz. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Now a play fake. Wentz. His throw incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They fake the give. Now Wentz. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big play there on the catch and run.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll make it a 2nd down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On second down, it's Taylor. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt. I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season, and they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. And this will go to Carson out wide, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him,
the Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Grover Stewart, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. 2nd and 15. Another try after the 1st down sack. Wilson got his man complete over the middle. It's Hall. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 41-yard line.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Wilson. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. DeForest Buckner, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. On 3rd down, Carson, the 1st down and more.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Over the middle, complete. It's Hall. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 12-yard line.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Carson. Touchdown! Chris Carson. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So, CD, big changes for 2021. Of course, last year we had the expansion from 6 to 7 teams in each conference making the playoffs. This year, the headline, the addition of a 17th regular season game. What did you think when you heard the news that this was happening?
Well, my first thought, partner, was finally, because we've heard about a 17th game coming for a long time, and now here it is. So the beautiful part about all of it is that 17th game is going to be like these interdivision, interconference type games that are going to match up and play out over a 4-year period. And that's kind of cool. And I was looking forward to seeing some of the matchups that were going to come out of that for that 17th game. And could that be the game that decides a bunch of division titles?
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. On 1st down, Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Sliding out of the pocket. They'll find Everett there, complete. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is because you got to get his attention because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Back to throw. And this thing is blown up defensively. They will not get a throw-off on the trick play, and that'll go down as a sack. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. On the return, it's Rodgers. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more.
Touchdown, Indianapolis! Jonathan Taylor, 58 yards. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. Now Wilson on first down. And this one is incomplete.
It's almost human nature, isn't it? They score on one play. You come out on offense, you try and do exactly the same thing. They tried the deep ball, couldn't quite connect, but give them an A for effort.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. This is Carson. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
3rd and 1. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Corey Willis.
And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
So that time the pressure got home just as he was releasing the football and caused the pick.
And what it did was it disrupted that fragile balance of the mechanics of throwing the football. You know, from the footwork to being able to actually throw it downfield. If one piece of that puzzle gets disrupted, it affects the entire chance of success.
They'll run on 1st down. Taylor. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. Well done from a safety to come up there at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle, too.
Yeah, he actually played into his position, didn't he? He's the strong safety. That means being near the line of scrimmage, cleaning up the run game, almost an extra linebacker, and he relishes the opportunities to put a big hit on a runner.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Returnable here for Callaway. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Second and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener.
Now it's Carson. And he's got some space here. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
49 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
2nd and 4.
Here's Wilson to throw. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Corey Willis in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, remember, he had the interception earlier. Now he adds the sack. He's really making his presence felt out there.
Well, he is putting together a heck of a game. In fact, he's going to bump these plays to his highlight reel. Okay, so when he wants to show it off later on, look what I did out there, guys. In this offense, they've got to start paying him a little special attention. He's like a good basketball player, putting stats in every column.
And that'll set him back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Here's Wilson. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
And those are the types of plays that Kenny Moore wants to make more of, because he's really starting to make a name for himself, and many know him as a terrific blitzer from the nickelback position. Undrafted out of Valdosta State, he is a ball hawk as well, and he led the Colts with 4 picks in 2020.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Colts are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead is down to a field goal. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner.
It was a little bit of a surprise when DeForest Buckner was traded from the San Francisco 49ers to the Indianapolis Colts prior to the 2020 season, but it sure paid off for Indy. Named All-Pro for the first time with 9.5 sacks.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of the first as that leads to 4th down. You hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory.
102 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On play action, Wentz.
They'll check this one down to Taylor.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. Looking for Campbell downfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
On 1st down, Carson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he'll get them inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And once again, this Colts defense stops him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Throwing is Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. There he goes, right side. 30. 10. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Colts TD. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides. So I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that. Anytime we have a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this fourth quarter deficit. And this series could very well determine our outcome. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. And he fires one incomplete.
You could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
To throw is Wilson.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before? This worked well that I can go to right now.
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. On third down, Wilson. He finds Smith out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry.
Short game, last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. 3 yards remain for second down. Wilson to throw. And he'll find Hall. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
Now Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Here's Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Throwing now is Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They run it with Carson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got...
And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people watch watching this one right here who gave up. Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
What looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking two plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Wentz to throw. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
That's the Colts. First down. First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is indeed good. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. It's a squib kick fielded just inside the 20. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
They'll run on first down. Taylor making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this overtime in Week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I'll bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
Second down, another run with Taylor.
And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Two minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. First throw in overtime now for Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. Now what can Wilson do here in the OT? Wilson hit. It's loose. It's a fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And he brings it back to the house. It's a touchdown. And a crazy inning. A defensive score wins it. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not in a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Indianapolis,
it's a victory for Carson Wentz in his debut in blue and white.
And they'll have another home date next week as the L.A. Rams come to town. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans.